Now hold tight, this one's going to be quick. I'm going to show you how to go from a total beginner handstand to advanced handstand very, very fast. So level one, we want to be looking at the chest to wall handstand holds. Initially, it's just going to be building time on your hands in this position. To start with, just make sure your shoulders are standing on top of your hands and then you're pushing up nice and tall. Hold here as long as you can. Make sure you can exit down with control. Once you build some comfortability there, or safety, comfortability, I'm even making up words, going as close as you can to the wall, eventually getting into this position and building the time up here until you can comfortably hold this for 60 seconds. Now comfortably means that I'm not collapsing and I can still, after the 60 seconds, come back down with control. That's going to take a bit of time for some if you're newer to handstands, but every session, every week, progressively increase the time and progressively moving closer and closer to the wall. Next, we have back to wall balance. So this is thinking about the overbalance. It's the easiest variation to start to play with in terms of balance because it has the safety of the wall and you're less likely to fall. Actually, it's impossible to fall from this position. To get into the position, we also have to learn the kick up. So hands on the floor, shoulders on top of the hands, focal point all glued into position, strong base, kick, touch the wall. If that's easy, go higher with the legs until you can get all the way to the wall. Once you're up at the wall, squeeze the legs together, push through the fingers, push as tall as you can, and as you push through the fingers, you should feel that tension pulls the heels off the wall, and then you can go back again. Now we're looking for repetitions of this with control. Once we can do reps, we can change that to time, and now I'm going to hold for a few seconds and then go back again. Next level is a chest to wall balance. So I'm going to go up this way round, and now make the body one segment. I'm going to pull away from the wall by using the shoulders. So my shoulders start to go in front of the hands, my toes come off the wall, and then I push up and back to the wall. Again, we want repetitions here first. Now this is working the underbalance. If I need to, I can have someone spotting me, so standing with their hands close to my calves, not letting me go over. So then we have the chest to wall condition holds. We have the overbalance drill when we're back to wall. We have the underbalance drill when we're chest to wall. And we can progress to the wall freestanding handstand. So that's where we're going to use both of those drills to pull from the wall to a freestanding handstand and accumulate time here. So I've pulled away from my overbalance using my fingers. I'm going to hold here. I want to build this up until I can hold here for about 20 seconds. To start with, I'll just be accumulating that time. Exactly the same, but now chest to wall. Again, building the time up here to 10, 15, 20 seconds in this position, showing control between the wall and the handstand. Now this is going to take a while to get both of those. Most people are probably looking 6 to 12 months at least before they can start to do that with some sort of control. Once you can do that on both sides of the handstands, we're going to move it away from the wall and do it in the middle of the room. Now exactly the same setup, hands down on the floor, shoulders directly on top of the hands, push into the floor, make a real strong base, focal point all glued in. We don't want to be moving around when we do this. Little kick, check you can hold. Bigger kick, check you can still hold. And then all the way up, use that ability that you learn on the wall to work between underbalance and our overbalance and try and sit somewhere in the middle and just hold here for time. We want to start building this higher and higher with longer and longer holds and more consistency of catch. Again, this is going to take a while to learn, but if we've been doing those wall drills and we make them very, very strong, we get good balance on both sides, our window of balance should now be getting nice and big. But these will start to merge into each other as they go. So it doesn't mean you do 6 weeks of this one before you do start this one. What it means is that you'll do this and you'll spend most of your time here, maybe 80% of your time there, then 20% there. Then the percentage will change and that'll just keep moving. So then 80% there, 20% there, and you'll just keep moving down. Now, once we get down here and we're working the floor freestand handstand, and even when we're working some of the floor freestand handstand, we want to be integrating the two other main movements apart from straight, the tuck and the straddle. Now, they can be both done back to wall and chest to wall and have benefits in both directions. So I'll work on both those. You can pull away from the wall in the same respect, but the idea is here we want to make one segment, one complete tight piece for both the tuck position, however deep it is, and the straddle position. So my straddle handstand makes one segment. So I have this straddle handstand, I have this tuck handstand, and then I have this straight handstand, and then I can move between them. That way we're having to deal with the legs coming down in front of the body, the hips moving backwards, the mobility demand that creates. And that's where we can use the wall drills and the freestanding drills to work on those components. So if I do a chest to wall tuck position,
This is going to be way harder mobility-wise than even the freestanding version, especially at the point where my femurs, my upper leg, is parallel to the floor. And I can stay there for time, or I can do repetitions where I'm sliding up and down. Again, the straddle handstand can be practiced against the wall with a light butt touch on the wall, and then try pulling from the wall. Now I can feel I'm too far away from the wall because I'm too heavy, so I need to go a little bit closer. So when we start playing with these shapes, there's going to be some differences in position, in setup, depending on our limb length, depending on our flexibility, and all those things are going to change as we go. And then we can start to transition between them, so I can go in my straight handstand, I can pull down to my tuck, I can go back to my straight. I can start working that for repetitions. I can do the same in the straddle. Then I can go tuck to my straddle, or straddle to my tuck, back to my straight. So again, lots of variations, and if you can balance in the holds and the transitions for repetition and time and be consistent with that, you're going to have a very strong handstand practice. Then you can go even super advanced to movements like one arm handstand. And when learning the one arm handstand, we normally go into a straddle position. We practice shifting, so flagging side to side while trying to keep the shoulders in towards the midline. We flag across to one side, making sure the elbow and the shoulder is pulled into midline. I come up onto fingertips, making sure that the shoulders stay aligned. I go onto one finger, and then I take the hand out to the side. So there is a massive amount of learning and balance time that needs to happen when you get to this point to get to a one-arm handstand. But this is your long progressive line. There's obviously lots of other drills you can do, but this is the main pathway most people will take from a beginner handstand to an advanced. Now I have loads of videos on all of these things where I break them down into way more detail. You definitely learn in layers as you go through it, especially if you coach people, because you have to keep going back over the layers and layers and layers, and you start to understand them and how they apply for different body types, different training history and things like that. So enjoy the journey. If you're interested in coaching, check out my app and my website. Links are down in the description. Thumbs up and subscribe would be appreciated, and I'll speak to you in the next one.